Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
We are honored, to have for the first time ever on the program this morning our amazing FLOTUS, First Lady of the United States, Mrs. Trump.
They will experience history and, unprecedented. That story was never shared before to the public, and I'm proud to share those moments of my life, including family, business, how I planned the inauguration, and it's a historic event, and they are part of it. We are all part of it.
We'll speak to Marc Beckman. Beckman, we played Melania there for a reason. Marc has worked with Melania for over 2 decades, and Marc was integral in making that great documentary, which has raked in over $10 million. Melania. He's got a new book out, too, which I compel you all to read. Some Future Day, How AI is Going to Change Everything. President Trump loves the book. You will, too. Marc Beckman, Some Future Day, How AI is Going to Change Everything. So with that said, Marc, good morning, pal. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me today. It's great to be here.
Nice to have you. You actually put that Melania interview together.
Yes.
She loves you. She trusts you. And I know that Melania turned down just about every offer. Outside of Fox News, I'm not sure if she did anything else at all, but with your help, she did this show, and as far as I can tell, I think she actually enjoyed it.
She had a great time. We appreciate the platform and your audience. We're very grateful for it. She's a very selective person. She's familiar with your show and your audience. It was important to her, and honestly, Sid, I think it's the beginning of hopefully a long run now together. I think it would be great to continue forward, and the fact that you're allowing for her to showcase her achievements is phenomenal. We don't have a lot of friends in the media, so, it would be good for us, for sure.
Well, thank you. And I'm sure she knows how close I am with her husband, of course, the President of the United States. And this I did not know. And the reason why you're here today, I saw some of your stuff on Fox News, was in making this movie. You're not going to believe this. I just had Mike Huckabee on from Israel. I know you know him. You spoke to him last week. In making this movie, you had to deal with anti-Semitism?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's true. As you're aware, last week, the First Lady welcomed the freed Israeli hostages, Keith and Aviva Siegel, into the White House. Keith is an American Israeli, actually. And in the film, we have this pivotal moment. It's the first meeting with the freed Israeli hostage, Aviva Siegel. Her husband, Keith, was still held captive in Gaza. And what happened after that moment in time, actually, at that moment, Aviva provided the First Lady with a book for President Trump, a handmade book about her husband and about what happened on October 7th. That night, the First Lady shared that book with the president and told him all about this American-Israeli hostage, Keith Siegel. And that it served as a catalyst for a series of events ultimately leading to Keith Siegel's freedom.
And
Incredible.
He actually does credit Mrs. Trump, Melania, with getting him out.
1,000,000%. It really happened. It's incredible. There are no coincidences. I believe that there's like a higher force that put us all together, and this worked. This happened.
Oh, agreed. It's a beautiful story, but that's a good story. Where are the negatives in making this movie?
So right as we're unleashing the film on the entire world, remember, we're in about 30 countries worldwide, I get an email explaining, as the producer of the film, I get an email explaining that some of the countries in the Middle East, including both Oman and Lebanon, would like to censor a portion of the movie, and they timestamped the movie. They didn't say exactly what it was, so of course I have to go back and check.
Right.
And lo and behold, it's the
Siegel.
scene with Aviva.
Yeah. And folks, Oman may sound familiar because that's where Witkoff and Kushner were just a couple of days ago trying to convince the Iranians to do a deal, which they're not going to do, and Bibi's going to come to Washington, D.C. on Wednesday. He's going to meet with Trump, and then on Thursday or Friday, Trump's going to blow the doors off that country because they just don't listen and they just don't care. But that's Pacific Oman. That was where they met a couple of days ago. So you're telling me some of these countries looked at the movie and hated the scene with the hostages, American Israeli hostages, and at that point wanted to not show it in their movie theaters, take it out of their movie theaters. What exactly did they want?
So they wanted us to censor out, to cut out that scene with Aviva Siegel. It's really incredible, Sid. But I'll tell you, I think it's worth noting the First Lady stood first with moral clarity, and she said, absolutely not. I am not taking that out. It's totally anti-Semitic. So we gave up distribution in those nations. There's no distribution of the film in Lebanon, and there's no distribution of the film in Oman. And again, I give the First Lady a lot of credit. She's putting her morals before her money, and that's a real value.
Well, there's no argument that this president specifically, and I didn't know how Melania felt, but no one has done more for the state of Israel than President Trump. And we can keep going over it time and time again. And we do, moving the embassy to Jerusalem, recognizing the Golan Heights as a part of Israel. And forgetting about all that, what he did during the first term, there were 6 or 7 things that he did to make Israel even stronger, but bombing those Iran nuclear facilities a couple of months ago, Midnight Hammer, that maybe was the best thing he ever did for Israel, with a second strike coming soon. So he has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, even with going to Qatar and those other Middle East countries, even with allowing Tucker Carlson to still enter the White House, he has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's the best president ever to the Jewish people and Israel.
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned Tucker Carlson, because I think he's totally devoid of any intellectual logic at this point as it relates to the Jewish people. But let's say it, like, first of all, you've done incredible work for Jewish people, and I'm grateful for that. And I know you work very closely with the president. It's amazing. I have so many friends and family that are grateful for the work you do.
Really? Thank you.
1,000,000%.
Thank you.
And the president, he's the best president when it comes to Jewish people. Hands down. I don't understand why more Jewish people, whether it's in New York or across the country, don't support him as it relates. I think every Jewish person is crazy if they're not supporting President Trump at this point.
I agree with you, but, again, I had this back and forth with this young lady, Shoshana. Turns out I didn't realize that's the same girl that dated Jerry Seinfeld. Remember her?
Yeah, of course.
So she's on my Instagram page, and I put up a picture of Noah Tishby, who's a very popular social influencer, and Tishby is standing with Richie Torres. And a lot of Jewish people like Richie because he's pro-Israel. I can't stand Richie because I don't care if you're pro-Israel if you're going to spend your days and nights bashing President Trump and Bibi Netanyahu. And that's all that Richie Torres does. He's called Donald Trump evil. He's called Donald Trump selfish. He has horrible things to say about Bibi Netanyahu. So I really don't care how you feel about Israel if the two men in the world that fight for Israel more than anybody else every day, you don't like them. So, long story short, Shoshana, this Jerry Seinfeld's ex-girlfriend, came at me pretty hard. And she said, we still need him. He's pro-Israel. But I don't subscribe to that. If you don't appreciate what President Trump has done in both terms, and Bibi, to me, you're not so pro-Israel. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. It's unfortunate a lot of Jewish politicians, local politicians, do not support. Like, look at Schumer. He's a total capo. We've watched anti-Semitism in this city rise over and over and over again. It's at an all-time high right now. And Schumer hasn't done anything.
Nothing.
He hasn't stood up since October 7th to support our community.
He's also killed Bibi. He's publicly killed Bibi as well, right there in Congress. The numbers are anti-Semitism is up 182%. That's not even a normal number, Mark.
It's massive, and it's already at an all-time high. It skyrocketed pre-October 7th, and it kept going. And you never saw Schumer once stand up in the city to support. He's our neighbor. He lives in the city with us, and not once has he stood up in the city to support our people.
So the movie came out. We got to wrap this up shortly, but she did about $8 million that first weekend.
Yep.
5 was going to be a big success. She did closer to 8. Yep. Not sure how this last weekend went, but it doesn't matter. It did go strong?
Yeah, we're doing well. It's the number one highest opening for a film in the documentary category in 14 years. And this is the part that I love. We beat for overall sales 2 of the films that were nominated for the best film category in the Oscars.
Wow.
Yeah. In
That's
total
a big
sales.
Deal.
It's amazing.
So is she going to make a second one? I asked her the same question.
Look, we set up Muse Films, and there's a lot. We only told these 20 days of her life. We haven't told the story about her best-selling book yet. We haven't told the story about the 4 years in between 45 and 47. And we haven't told the story about 47 yet. So she's got a lot to build. We're focused right now. A lot more good stuff coming out, but we'll see.
Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Payne Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.